with your buddy in the Mercedes.
Talk to me. Why have you been avoiding me so much lately? Did I do something wrong, or was it maybe something I said? I'm going crazy thinking about it.
Didn't do anything.
Say you're sorry, darling. Say it's all your fault. Say you miss me and you wish that you answered my calls. Say you're not done falling. Say our love is art. Say you're waiting for me, that you wanna press restart.
How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Lieutenant Dan here, live from Orlando, Florida. We are coming to you live, man. We are here to talk to you guys about the Atlanta Falcons here in the mid-season review, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, it ain't looking pretty. It ain't looking pretty. This is not what you've been looking for as a Falcons fan. This has not been the expectation nor the dreamt reality that could possibly happen for the Atlanta Falcons. And I know that we started in the summer talking about how the Falcons could potentially come out here with Michael Penix Jr. and Drake London and Kyle Pitts as a possibility, and Bijan, because we knew that that was something, and maybe a revamped defense now that we've added multiple defenders to this group, multiple first-round picks to this group. And really what it's just come straight down to is organizational failure, but we will get to that in just a moment. Make sure you guys share this out to all your friends and family. Hey, man, we got a membership program. If you want to support myself and Mrs. Lieutenant Dan and baby Lieutenant Dan, who's just shown up in the world, 1 month old now. You want to support us, make sure you hit us up on the membership program. It costs $1. If you want to support Unintentional Grounding and keep this thing going. I would appreciate it if you did. Share this out to all your friends and family. To all the social medias and all the things that needed to be done. Drake London and Michael Penix Jr. were eliminated today in practice. That was 6 minutes ago from the Rise Up Reader. Friend of the show. Ally of the show. But you guys liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting the membership program, hitting the donos, keep this thing alive, man. So I really appreciate it if you do those things. Thank you so much. So let's get straight to it. Let's get to this pod. Let's get to the meat and potatoes, eh? It has been 15 years plus. 15 years plus since what I believe to be the Atlanta Falcons' second phase. First phase, Dan Reeves and the Michael Vick era of Atlanta Falcons sports. That Dan Reeves, Michael Vick, Algie Crumpler, Roddy White era, TJ Duckett. The era of the Dirty Bird. Phase 1. And then Phase 2 started in 2008 with Matt Ryan coming in here, and I have said it since Matt Ryan was drafted to the Atlanta Falcons, all the way till the time that he ended up leaving the Atlanta Falcons, that Matt Ryan was the whitewash for an organization that had the biggest, most terrible mark on its franchise. Dog fighting, franchise quarterback hurt, then into prison. Kills your franchise, man. It kills your franchise. It destroys it. Destroys it from within. And the Atlanta Falcons decided to go get a quarterback out of the University of Boston College and promote said quarterback, draft quarterback high, promote said quarterback so that they could have some semblance of normalcy. And I've said it all the way until Dan Quinn got here and what I call Phase 3. So the Mike Smith era, we almost go to the Super Bowl 2012, fall short, pass interference against the San Francisco 49ers, and that is not called. Roddy White interfered near the 5 to 10 yard line in San Francisco territory. Matt Ryan and company screaming to the top of their lungs, interference, interference. Nothing happens. And, of course, San Francisco and Baltimore go to the Super Bowl. And Baltimore wins the Super Bowl with Joe Flacco. And then he goes into complete irrelevancy. And Matt Ryan has to pick himself off the ground. Head coach fired. And Phase 3 started. Phase 3. The Dan Quinn era. Return of the King, 1999, and the Matthew 427. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Rise up, stay grounded. Crystal Child of God, 1421. Mrs. Lieutenant Dan, one of our moderators in here. Thank you, chat, for supporting the channel. Like and subscribe if you can. Show a little love to Mrs. Lieutenant Dan and the little one who are across the entire house on the other side over there. Make sure that you support us through the membership program. Make sure you hit that like button if you are viewing this. Share this out to Falcons fans and friends that you know right now. Get them in here. Let's talk about Falcons football and what is going wrong and a possible solution to this Falcons issue. Phase 1, we go through the Dan Reeves. Phase 2 through Mike Smith. Man, I miss those Mike Smith days. And at the time, maybe not. But man, do I miss him now. Phase 3, Dan Quinn comes in here. Kyle Shanahan. Whole bunch of crazy coaches with crazy ideas. And what ends up happening? Well, Falcons, after only a year and a half of working at it, go to the Super Bowl. And I don't need to tell you what happens in that Super Bowl, but I can tell you right now, from top to bottom, the entire organization fed the Atlanta Falcons excuses. The fans were given excuses. Oh, it was this coach's problem, and oh, it was Matt Ryan who didn't do this, and oh, Devontae Freeman didn't block this guy, and oh, Shanahan didn't call a running play, and Arthur Blank and Rich McKay, and oh, the drafting, and And the Falcons, for the next few years, with Sarkisian and Dirk Cutter and so on and so forth, drunkenly walked through the rest of Matt Ryan's career until 2020 and 2021, when the Falcons finally said, hey, yo, it's been great. Have a good one. See you later, Matt Ryan. Don't even ride into the sunset as a retired Falcon. No, you go off to the Indianapolis Colts. And so I like to talk to you guys about Phase 4. Phase 4, new general manager. Phase 4, 2 coaching hires so far. Phase 4, the Atlanta Falcons not having any offensive identity. Phase 4, a revamped defense that has been blown out twice this year and outcoached once. Blown out twice and outcoached once. And if you're listening to this right now, if you are currently listening to this as a Falcons fan, as a non-Falcons fan, as whatever you currently are, this Atlanta Falcons organization, top to bottom, is an absolute joke. From a moral standpoint, Arthur Blank, nice guy. Thanks for giving to Jamaica. If anybody tuned in to Jamaican TikTok right now, they're literally out dancing in the streets during this hurricane. Go check it right now. Go check it. Arthur Blank gives a cool couple million to the Jamaican people to be able to get the electricity back on, to get the water damage taken care of, to be able to help out with the housing, to help out with the damage. But here, back at home, with that off to the side, poorly run organization, completely gutted fan base, absolutely and totally oblivious coaching hires. The same rotten fruit tree, an organization going back to it over and over and over. Is that not the definition of insanity? I've been preaching it for years, and we're finally back here on a podcast to say it again. I don't need silly voices and silly words to be able to tell you guys right now that Arthur Blank needs to stop tampering with the Atlanta Falcons organization. That Rich McKay, no matter how far away he backs himself out of the conversation, and no matter how many times he says, I'm only doing things with Atlanta United. How well is that going, by the way? No matter how many times he distances himself from this organization, he seems to always have his little hand caught in the cookie jar every time we talk about Michael Penix and Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot and messages and works with Arthur Blank and on and on and on and on and on. So I digress. It seems to be a never-ending Ferris wheel of absolute dread and despair. A merry-go-round of constant coaches the Falcons have connections through monetary value or have previously been with the organization. It never ends. And nobody wants to admit it, but it will never completely change unless the Falcons decide to hire an outside organization and start making hires. Terry can't hire the guy. Terry probably shouldn't even be here at this point. Raheem and Zach Robinson, 2 years in a row, have shown you absolutely nothing, Falcons fans. It is a never-ending, consistent issue over and over, and no one here seems to understand that from an organizational level, if the fans don't say something, if they don't stop going to games, if they don't do something about it, if somebody doesn't go out and say something about it at the highest level, regardless of whether or not they take away your media passes or get offended that you said something about the organization, Rich McKay and Arthur Blank are the problem with the Falcons. They have been the problem with the Falcons since 2008, and they are currently the problem in 2025. 18 years of constant nonsense. If you haven't already said hi, please make sure that you go say hi in the live chat. I would love to hear from you guys. Please make sure you share this out to the X, Twitter. Make sure you share it out to the Facebook groups. Make sure you share this out to the Falcons boards, wherever it possibly can go. Help your brother out. Let's talk reality. Let's talk Falcons football. Make sure you guys hit us with a like if we're doing things right. So now we come to the point that we're trying to make. Is that unless the Atlanta Falcons go out and get people that Arthur Blank and Rich McKay and company have no idea who they are, this Falcons group will continue to go back to the same well over and over. And it's about control. It's about control. It's about controlling the narrative. It's about asserting dominance about who is in control of this organization. It's about pretending to be a general manager in Rich McKay. It's about stacking the chips on the scale. Who has the most say in the room? And at the end of the day, the Falcons are not lacking in placeholder talent. That's right. I'm not even talking about cornerstone talent. I'm talking about placeholders. Jesse Bates, David Onyemata, Caden Ellis, soon to be AJ Terrell. Ladies and gentlemen, we are running out of time. If you don't believe that, go look at the contract statuses. We're losing half the guys next year. The Falcons have not invested in the trenches, one of the biggest asks from this fan base for years. No nose tackle. No powerful edge rushers. No offensive linemen. But they got Matthew Bergeron. Shut up. It's a second-round pick. They are lucky that Matthew Bergeron has been this good. And even then, they have stacked him against, whatever you want to call it at this point, a center who should not be starting. An aging left tackle, a wonder who has a relic of himself since 2014. Come on, guys. He's been in the league for 9 years, 10 years, 11 years. Let's not pretend. He won't be here for much longer. That's the NFL moniker. NFL stands for not for long. If you don't capitalize on what you're doing, you will end up wasting your resources. The Falcons have wasted one of their resources, left tackle. And whether it was the previous general manager or the current general manager, we have not done well at right tackle. We have barely done well at right guard. That resource, by the way, is aging as well. Just because Chris Lindstrom is here does not mean that Chris Lindstrom stays here forever. And the Falcons will run out of time. With their own offensive line and their own defensive line, they are currently running themselves out of time. So what's the solution? Where do the Falcons go to find help? Where do the Falcons go to find an answer? Is it all a joke? I see someone in the chat has said, I wonder what would have happened if Bill Belichick had gotten in here. Man, Return of the King, I'm telling you right now, you don't want to know. Because if they weren't willing to give up power to an old crony, and let me just be completely honest, Bill Belichick is an old crony. Just like Saban, just like Gruden, just like all those old cronies who have been in the league for a long time. A lot of those guys, their systems do not work currently in the NFL any longer, and players are not there respecting them because they don't know them anymore. These young guys coming out of college, they do not care any further about whether your name is Bill Belichick or not. If you're not with the times, it doesn't matter. Go check the tackling stats from when Bill Belichick was still there with the Patriots in his last couple of years. They were gosh darn awful. He lost the clubhouse when there wasn't a powerful voice that led the system from the offensive side in Tom Brady, and Bill Belichick and his evil emperor ways was not able to back up what he said with other powerful voices in the room. And whether we like it or not, his North Carolina Tar Heels have looked like garbage. It's going to take multiple years for that team to even become a semblance of what they want to be. And we're not looking for college success, ladies and gentlemen. We are looking for Atlanta Falcons National Football League success. There were 31 other teams that could have been, picked up Bill Belichick. Obviously, there was an answer to why Bill Belichick was not picked up by anyone. And I don't want that to be the moniker of what we're talking about today. I don't want that to be the ultimate discussion point about what the Atlanta Falcons could or should have done. But now the Atlanta Falcons need to find an answer. And what is that answer? Ladies and gentlemen, I can come to you right now and I can tell you that if the Atlanta Falcons want an answer, they may need to go back to the past. One of the only bright spots they've had in the past. 13 years. 18 years. 18 years. The Atlanta Falcons need an answer. And even though we don't have a lot of people in here right now listening to this, I want to be completely and totally honestly clear. The Falcons need to somehow get their heads out of their own asses. He said a cuss word. The Atlanta Falcons need to get their heads out of their own asses. And they need to hire Matt Ryan. Oh, but he hasn't done anything. Shh. Shush. I don't need Falcons fans in my chat, or Falcons fans on social media, or Falcons fans in the little nooks and crannies, or the so-called media, or the lettered networks to tell me whether or not I'm right or wrong. The only bright spot the Atlanta Falcons have had since 2008 The only consistent thing the Falcons have had up till 2021 has been Matt Ryan. Don't fool yourself. Don't bring up other bits. The focal point of the Atlanta Falcons has been Matt Ryan. The biggest difference for the Atlanta Falcons has been Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan has made this team even worth watching. Don't pretend for even a moment that you came through over the last 4 to 5 years and you told me you came through to watch Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heinicke. You came through to see whether or not Matt Ryan could lead this team to success. Because that was the only thing that was successful. Now, I'm not going to come through and name a particular position that Matt Ryan should be offensive coordinator, CEO, some type of consultant. But listen to me, and listen to me very well. The Falcons have no offensive identity. Ian Hugh, what's going on, my man? Rise up, stay grounded. I hope you're doing well in the chat. Fire Rich McKay, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. But hire Matt Ryan. Hire Matt Ryan to a position in your organization, because one of the only dudes that's going to start looking for talent beyond talent, that can spot things because he's standing on the outside looking in, and the guy who's been through the entire mess that this organization has had since 2008, multiple offensive coordinators, multiple head coaches, multiple wide receivers and running backs and offensive linemen, multiple issues, and has been in the building with Arthur Blank more times than not. 2 general managers. Has been Matt Ryan. Don't lie to yourselves. Don't lie to yourselves. The reason why they haven't brought Matt Ryan in here is because they know that he would light a fire under everybody's asses. That his leadership would take control and take the control out of Rich McKay and Arthur Blank's hands. Matt Ryan having involvement and any sort of power with the Atlanta Falcons would turn this fan base so quickly on Rich McKay and Arthur Blank and anyone whose name is not Matt Ryan. And we know it. We know it. Ladies and gents, I'm telling you right now, unbiasedly, I have no agenda to give you that you hire Matt Ryan and suddenly the fan base would be interested. The organization, their ears, the players, they would listen. The coaches would be afraid because Matt Ryan wouldn't play games. He's got 2 little boys, and he doesn't have time for games. He needs rings. He needs championships. And if Matt Ryan really chose to do it, he would want to leave an absolute lasting legacy. Go look at the Indianapolis Colts right now and you tell me, what is the difference between the Colts' current female owner and our current entire front office and organization. And what is the similarity between her and Matt Ryan? Notes would be taken. Accountability would be placed. And they would learn. They wouldn't bullshit the fan base. They would tell them, we need to rebuild. They wouldn't use silly catchphrases. They would tell everybody, we're going to use every resource that we possibly can to win games. Hey man, if you're not cheating a little bit, even if it's not called cheating, if you're not cheating a little bit, you're not trying to win. Matt Ryan said it on his own portion, a take that he had on CBS by himself. Falcons should have opened up the damn dome. Open the roof. Stop having it be closed. It wouldn't have helped them win because the Dolphins still trounced them. If it was raining and it was wet, and even if the fans got wet, we would have told them, ladies and gentlemen, we know that the Dolphins don't know how to play in the rain even though they're from Miami. Tua Tagovailoa with his pink eye would have been so wet he wouldn't have been able to see out of either eye. Matt Ryan was out here advocating for his own team to have a disadvantage so that they would have an advantage. But the fan experience... F the fans want wins. Sometimes people's opinions don't need to come out of their mouths. And in this particular moment, Matt Ryan literally told everybody, look, y'all, the fans want wins. If the fans want wins, they'll come in the rain. You're paying for PSLs. Go sit in your comfy chair. Of course, there will be the naysayers, and I see them in chat already. Well, he couldn't call this, he couldn't call that, so why would he want to come and be a yes? Because if Matt Ryan is taking the job, and you can tell there's tension, if Matt Ryan's taking the job, he's coming in here to make sure that he wins. If Matt Ryan's making the comments he's making on CBS and they are against what the Falcons organization wants to do, then he wants wins. He doesn't give a damn about what Arthur Blank and Rich McKay want. Let's detach the player from the man who would come in and try to help run the organization. If you can't do that, then you're stuck in the past. We're in desperate need of someone to tell Arthur Blank to go shove it. Of Rich McKay to get out of my way. Didn't mean that to rhyme, but I'm here all the time. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you comment. Make sure you hit that notification bell to be notified of every time we go live. Dono, Super Chat, whatever you'd like to do to be able to help out Mr. and Mrs. Lieutenant Dan here with Unintentional Grounding and the little one who's just been born. Appreciate you. Share this out to all your friends and family. Hit them up. Every Falcons fan that you want to send this out to. We'd love to be able to hear it. We'd love to be able to interact with you in the chat. If you're still living in 2016, 2017 for the Super Bowl, then you have lost the whole point of this conversation. Step aside. Return of the King, I'm sorry, brother, but that whole sentence does not make a damn bit of sense. If he's being hired to crush the opposition. To tell Arthur Blank, I don't listen to you. I'm being hired to win games. I'm being hired to make the correct decisions. I was with the Colts organization for 1 year. I saw a completely different operation. I'm here to win. I'm not here to be a yes man. I'm here to tell Raheem and Zach Robinson and Terry Fontenot, NFL, boys. NFL. I don't care how paper thin that you think you are on the roster, which you are. No games, no games, no games. This ain't practice, AI. We're talking games. Games we're losing to the Panthers 30 points. Oh, well, you know, one of those games will happen. And then you drop this last one to the 1-6 Dolphins. Get out of my face with that nonsense. We ain't in Kansas no more. The Super Bowl's been gone a long time ago. We're just another team breathing air and drinking water. We need to be able to win games. We're not talking Super Bowls anymore. Super Bowl aspirations have been out the door for a long time. Let's get real. Reality check. We are a 3-4 team. We're not one move away from the Super Bowl. We're not one first-round pick away from the Super Bowl. We are not one quarterback away from the Super Bowl. We're not one draft class away from the Super Bowl. We're not one free agency away from the Super Bowl. We are multiple free agencies and drafts away from the Super Bowl. And we need somebody to come in and be able to wake everybody up. Wake up. You're all dreaming. Dreaming about 2016. Dreaming about the excuses in 2016. Hi, Bangley. I see you. Enough excuses. Enough cowering in fear from the excuses of 28-3. Enough is enough. When are you going to have enough? When are Falcons fans going to have enough of coming up with the same excuses to be back in their safe zone? Grow up. It's been 9 years. Grow up. We're not competing for Super Bowls. We're competing for the toilet bowl. And I said it since Dan Quinn came here. And now I'm saying it again as if I'm on some crazy merry-go-round of insanity. Where's my nose tackle? Where's the offensive line? Why are we skimping by, trying to get by with swing tackles, with replacements? Why are we not spending premium on center? If you're not going to spend on defensive line, at least spend on linebacker, please. In a league where linebackers are so heavily needed to be able to stop tight ends. Return of the King, please silence yourself immediately. Absolute atrociousness. Backwards thinking. Absolute insanity. In the pit of despair, please do not return. Coach, stop making excuses, Falcons fans. Find the facts. Find the answers. Find solutions. Stop living in dread every single day. Enough is enough. If you want to live like that, stop listening to Unintentional Grounding. because that's not where we need to be. Damn this GM. Damn this head coach. Damn this offensive system that does not predicate itself towards anything that Drake London does, anything that Kyle Pitts does not help Michael Penix grow and mature, does not help this offensive line stay away from the inabilities that it has. It only predicates on those inabilities. It continues to fester in those inabilities. People need to wake up. Falcons fans need to stop coming up with the same excuses they've been living with since 2016 and wake up. Drink the coffee. We are not a good team. And we've needed to rebuild for 5 years. 5 years worth of excuses. Because of another 5 years, by the way, of excuses since the Super Bowl. Stop the excuses. That quarterback's no longer here. Stop the excuses. That general manager's not here anymore. And stop the excuses. This is no time to pretend that Arthur Smith and Raheem Morris are not the same guy. They are. They're the same dude. Same dude. Same rotten tree that this same front office has picked from twice. Ryan was the consistent answer. Ryan was the one that was keeping us afloat. And you have built a house of sand for a guy like Michael Penix. You have built a house of sand for a Bijan Robinson. You have built a house of sand for multiple first-round draft picks to be able to say that we got rid of Julio and Matt Ryan and so on and so forth. Now, here are the guys that are going to take over. You did not give them any successful points. There's no starting line for these guys because they're just constantly going through the same muck. How can we not see analytically? Right now, analytically right now, that the offense that we are using is the bottom of the league. Because everybody sees it. And the Falcons don't. Everybody sees it. And yet the Falcons sit here and say, we're just going to do the same thing next week. Maybe something will change. It's only a matter of time before this defense is so figured out that we lose 3 or 4 games straight. And that's coming up very soon. Watch out, Patriots. It's only a matter of time before we lose 3 or 4 games straight, and then there will be no more answers. The only answer will be that Raheem must leave. That Zach has to leave. We have not given 2008 Matt Ryan. That's who Michael Penix is currently right now in his growth stage. A Mike Smith. We have not built an offensive line that's capable of protecting the man. We have no right tackle. We have an aging left. We don't even have a good center. We're making excuses. Wake up, Falcons fans. Wake up, Falcons front office. This is nowhere near success rate. Excuse after excuse after excuse. It's the year 2025. We're going on 2026. Matt Ryan's not here. Even though he probably should be in some type of front office dynamic. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be the first one to say it. I don't know how many people have said it. I mean, I know Boy Bangley has probably said it in my Discord. Go check out the Discord, by the way. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go get Clint Kubiak. And bring in his dad, too. Why not, as an offensive consultant at this point? Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe. Share this out to all the peeps. I'm going to grab some coffee. And we will be right back for the second half. I'm going to get into it too. Don't you guys leave. I'm going to get into it. We'll be right back, boys and girls.
Avoiding me so much lately. Did I do something wrong, or was it maybe something I said? I'm going crazy thinking about it.
Didn't do anything.
Say you're sorry, darling. Say it's all your fault. Say you miss me and you wish that you answered my calls. Say you're not done falling. Say our love is hard. Say you're waiting for me, that you wanna fresh restart.
With your buddy in the Mercedes.
Talk to me. Why have you been avoiding me so much lately? Did I do something wrong, or was it maybe something I said? I'm going crazy thinking about it.
Didn't do anything.
Say you're sorry, darling. Say it's all your fault. Say you miss me and you wish that you answered my calls. Say you're not done falling. Sorry.
All right, ladies and gents, we're back for round 2. Round 2, boys. And girls. I really appreciate you guys coming through. Absolutely wonderful, as always, to be able to see you guys. Rise up and stay grounded to every single person that's currently in the chat right now. Hey, man, if you love the Atlanta Falcons, can you give me a rise up in the chat, man? Chat, how are we doing on a Thursday night football before the Ravens and Dolphins go into play? I put a couple parlays down, man, because, hey, man, make a little money, you know. Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray is still limited with a mid-foot sprain. And somebody in my fantasy group was trying to sell me on that. That's so ridiculous. The fact that somebody was trying to sell me on that just makes me absolutely burnt up, bro. Kyler Murray. So, in my opinion, and it's not a good opinion, I'm not the end all be all, but I just want to put it out this way. In my opinion, Matt Ryan needs to be in this front office. General manager, I'm not sure about that. Some type of assistant GM or some type of offensive consultant or some type of consultant in some way, shape, or form, or having involvement in the offensive system or involvement in team day-to-day operations, some type of overarching McKay role where McKay completely steps away in true and form and is stripped of all Atlanta Falcons involvement. That maybe. But I'm going to be honest with you, y'all, and this is just my current favorite right now. I don't know if he will want to take the job. I don't know if he'll be available to take the job. But I'm telling you right now, what is currently happening in Seattle, despite Sam Darnold being there, is the type of stuff that would make Michael Penix fantastic. And Clint Kubiak and his father, Gary Kubiak, would do absolute stinking wonders to not only simplify what we're currently doing here in Atlanta and make it readable for our group. A West Coast style system that can utilize spread, that has lots of outside zone running. Great for Bijan Robinson. Zach Robinson can get right out of here, bro. I don't want anything to do with him anymore. But really help Bijan, really help Drake London, really simplify things for Michael Penix Jr., but also in every way, shape, and form can help us justify letting Kyle Pitts go. No sacred cows. No golden calves. Something that does not rely on tight ends to be the ultimate success, bend and break piece. Something to say that, you know what, if you're Terry Fontenot, if you're still here, you have brought talent to this group. Not overwhelming, but you had a lot against you, a lot working against you. Go and prosper. Continue to bring in talent. But I'm going to tell you something right now. Gary Kubiak, and Clint Kubiak are not going to look you dead in the face and say, I need more wide receivers. I need more passing options. They're going to say, we run outside zone. We need offensive linemen. We need a defense so that we aren't gassed every single time we make a fuck up. And with Ryan and the Kubiaks coming in here, you could finally go and tell the fans, rebuild! It's rebuild time! It's time to move on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please buy Falcons tickets because guess what? We are finally doing the thing that you Falcons fans told us to do. Build the trenches and rebuild this thing. And we've got pieces to compete while we rebuild. It's not a retool. We were never good. It is a rebrand. It's a no longer settling for mediocrity. And if you're a Falcons fan right now, you don't want to hear anything other than W's. I know you don't want to hear anything more than W's. I know. I'm a Falcons fan. I know you know that. I know that you know that. I know that you know that I am. Who do you think you are? I am. I'm the Falcons fan. You're the Falcons fan. Let's stop lying to each other. Nothing from the past will be justified any further if we can just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. It's time for Falcons fans to stop being told that spending $20 at a game can feed a family of 4 when, in fact, actually Return of the King finally says something really interesting in the chat, that it takes me $500 to get a damn ticket. Fuck them prices. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we need to go to the lines and we need to stack them heavy and talented, and we need to not worry. We need to go to free agency and go get wide receivers. We need to go to free agency and go get pass rushers. And we need to go to the draft and go fix the linebacking situation, fix the defensive tackle situation, fix the offensive line situation. We need our front 7. Hell, go get yourself your own use check. Go find a fullback or a convert tight end that can block like nobody's business. And win games. We don't care anymore about ticket prices and food and entertainment. We are no longer entertained. We want to win. And if you're not obsessed with winning, then sell the franchise to the UK. Who cares? Sell them to Mexico City. Who cares? Because if we don't get championships, then you're killing the city's morale. I know of Falcons fans in Montana. I know of Falcons fans in Japan. I know of Falcons fans in Africa. I know of Falcons fans in China. I know of Falcons fans in Germany. And all through Europe, you're full of bukkake. Bullshnickety. If you think that these fans care about anything other than getting dubs on Sundays, and sometimes Mondays, and sometimes Thursdays, and sometimes Saturdays, we need W's. So when I say hire Ryan because somebody with an absolute commanding voice like his will completely and totally wrap and stranglehold every single player and every single person in that organization and leave Blank and McKay dry. I say it with conviction, knowing that that is a voice that'll tell everybody to shut their shit. When I say that we need someone that is from the outside that wants to create legacy for themselves and wants to win games, I think of Clint Kubiak and I think of Gary Kubiak, who we had opportunities in the past to be able to obtain. And yet Blank and McKay were the ones who said no. It's finally time to right the wrongs. So here's what you do. My 5-step plan to getting thinner. Number 1, when we get back from Germany, fire Raheem. And have Ulbrich take over as head coach. He's not here for long. He's just here for the interim. And tell Zach Robinson he has days, not weeks, to figure out his coaching prospects because he will be gone by the end of the week too. TJ Yates, step on board. You are now the new OC. We are just going to walk this thing through the rest of the year. We gave the Rams a top 15, top 10 pick. At the end of the season, even right after the fire, you go to Matt Ryan and you put a stack of cash in front of that man and you say, you live here in Atlanta. He lives in Atlanta. You give Matt Ryan a big stack of cash and you tell him, please, we will not interfere in what you're doing right now. The fans were right. We were wrong. Highly unlikely, but this is my scenario. And you go get Matt Ryan to start fixing the issues. And you know what Matt Ryan's going to do? He's going to go to Michael Penix and he's going to go, what are your limitations, son? What can we do to make you better? And that means you're probably going to go get Joe Brady. Or you're probably going to go get Clint Kubiak. You're going to get an offensive mind first because you don't want to lose another offensive coordinator over and over and over and over. Matt Ryan had learned from that a long time ago. And what are you going to do after that? You're going to go into the draft and you're going to invest in defensive line and offensive line. You're going to trade assets that you currently have and send them away. You're going to lose Kirk Cousins after June 1st. You're not going to re-sign Kyle Pitts. You're going to take your lumps where they are. And you're going to tell Terry Fontenot, guess what? We were only keeping you here because of parity. You didn't draft poorly. You just made some really crap decisions that have put you in a really bad hole. Want us to dig you out of it? Shut your mouth. And when all is said and done, the 2026 season will not be a Super Bowl chasing year, but it will be a division chasing year. When all is said and done, the Atlanta Falcons will not go to the playoffs next year. They will scrap and they will fight because they've told the rest of the general public that they are rebuilding, that they are installing the offense that takes up to 2 years to get done. Archangel, what's going on, my man? Rise up, stay ground. I hope you're doing well in the chat. Good to see you, brother. And you will go and say that the 2027 season is when you are going to strike and you will fight. Because it's going to take 2 years. Even it took 2 years because Matt Ryan was Matt Ryan, not because, and well, you could even probably put it to Kyle Shanahan and what he was able to do. But it took them 2 years to get the kinks sorted out. You don't think it's going to take at least 3 to get Michael Penix up to par with a new offense, with new play action, keeping everybody accountable, making sure everybody's running the same thing, everybody knows their assignments. You don't think that's going to take time? And defensively, to sell guys like Jesse Bates, to look someone dead in the eyes like A.J. Terrell and say, are you worth it, man? To make tough decisions like Jalen Walker being a linebacker and not a pass rusher. These are the things that you must walk through when you are talking about a total and complete rebuild. And the Falcons need a rebuild. They need a cleanse. They need Arthur Blank and Rich McKay's involvement to be minimized to 0. Not to 5%, not to 2%, not to 1%, to 0%. No more secret meetings. No more dinners at Bones. No more lemon pepper wet. Dry or otherwise. No more good times. No more rah-rah. No more shitty music at practice. No more good guy, feely good feelings. We need someone to come in here and say, this is the line, do not cross it, and if you got a problem, you got a one-way ship out to some other team. We don't care anymore. No old head is going to convince me one way or another that we should have some legendary status coach from, so organization or whatnot. We need fresh minds from a reliable system that has been running this league for the last 15 years. We need offense that grounds people to dust. We need powerful scoring. And the only way to achieve that is to lean on Michael Penix's development, to gain a better offensive line, and to put a Shanahan-style symbol in here. It's time. It's time to admit that Shanahan was the hire and Dan Quinn was the fall guy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for coming in and coming through and hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. I know that this was a very long podcast episode, live show, whatever you want to call it. But we are going to get out of here. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you guys for supporting everything that we do. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Rise up and stay grounded. And if you see Arthur Blank on the street, tell him, hey man, you ain't no Walt Disney. So you need to go back to Home Depot. Go broom up some sawdust, dog. Take it easy, y'all. Have a good one.